The fire did not roar the way movies teach you to expect. It hissed and popped, a sound like wet paper tearing. By the time the alarm started screaming, the place was already rearranging itself into something unrecognizable. I remember the way the hallway light flickered, the way my youngest shoe came untied as I carried him down the stairs. I remember thinking, tie it later, as if later was a room we could step into. Outside, everything smelled like melted plastic and damp ash. Neighbors stood barefoot on the curb, wrapped in towels, everyone blinking at the same sky as if it had done this personally. A firefighter asked my name and wrote it down with a pen that wouldn't work at first. The kids leaned into my legs, their faces pressed into the seams of my jeans. When someone said, "You're lucky," I nodded, because it felt impolite not to. I typed the message in the back of an ambulance while someone checked my blood pressure. I chose my words carefully. I always do. The kids and I are safe. The apartment is gone. We don't have anywhere to go tonight. I sent it to the family thread. Then I sent a shorter version to my dad. Then I sat on my hands so I wouldn't keep rewriting it into something more honest. Nothing came back. No hearts. No. Are you okay? Not even the typo, dotting acknowledgement people send when they don't know what else to say. The ambulance doors closed, and the phone stayed quiet, as if it had joined the effort to be respectful. An hour later, while we were sitting on the curb, waiting to be told where to sleep, my cousin's post floated up on my feed. A pool the color of a postcard. Drinks sorting on a patio table. Arms thrown over shoulders. The caption read, "Family over everything." I stared at it longer than I should have. I tried to find a way to interpret it that didn't feel pointed. I tried to imagine they hadn't seen my message yet, that they were all temporarily underwater, literally or figuratively. I put my phone face down on the concrete and told the kids we were going on an adventure. They believed me, because that's what kids do. A friend from work took us in that night. Then another friend took us in the night after. By the third night, we were on a couch that smelled like coffee and dog shampoo, and I was whispering apologies to the air every time the kids shifted in their sleep. Gratitude is a heavy thing when it has a clock attached to it. You feel it ticking, days stacked into weeks. The insurance calls blurred together. Forms multiplied. I learned how long you can go without a kitchen before your body starts craving edges, counters, doors, the ritual of a sink. Every morning, I sent the kids to school from someone else's address. Every night, I folded blankets like they belonged to us. I didn't bring the fire up again in the family thread. I watched it scroll past with birthday photos and vague plans and jokes that relied on a shared past I was apparently no longer inside. Once, my aunt posted a comment about how hard times show you who really cares, and I closed the app with my thumb shaking, not because I disagreed, but because agreeing felt like admitting something I wasn't ready to name. When my dad finally texted, it wasn't about the fire. My phone buzzed in my pocket while I was standing in line at a discount store, counting the difference between the cereal that was on sale and the one my kids liked. It buzzed again and again. I pulled it out and watched the miss fawn like a glitch 12:24:51 until the screen felt hot in my hand. Then the text landed. Hey LP, 3900 tonic HT, no hello, no explanation, just the number bold in my mind. For a moment my body did what it has always done, it prepared to fix things. The familiar path lit up borrow, juggle, smooth it over, say yes now and figure it out later. I could feel the shape of the old panic reaching for me like muscle memory. I stepped out of line and sat on a low concrete barrier by the carts. The store's automatic doors breathed open and closed beside me. Somewhere inside, a cashier laughed. I read the text again. Then I opened the thread with my message from the night of the fire and scrolled back to the empty space where replies should have been. Without hesitation, I didn't send the money. I typed, "What's this for?" The phone rang. Immediate ring. I let it ring. It rang again. I let it ring. When I finally answered, I kept my voice level, the way I do at work when something has already gone wrong and yelling would only make it worse. He talked fast. Rent. A deadline. A mistake that wasn't really a mistake if you understood the context. Family helps family, he said, like a rule you don't have to explain. I listened. I asked him to slow down. I asked for the notice. I asked which landlord. I asked why tonight. Silence stretched on the other end, then a sigh. He sent a photo of a letter with a date circled in red. It wasn't tonight. It was 2 weeks from now. I can't do that. I said, and waited for my voice to wobble. It didn't. We're still on a couch. He said my name the way he used to when I was a kid and had disappointed him by not reading his mind. He reminded me of things he had done for me. He did not mention the fire. I can help, I said, surprising us both. But it won't be like before. There was another silence, thicker this time. Then anger, then bargaining. I let it pass over me like weather. When he paused, I explained what help would look like: partial payment, not a bailout, a payment plan. Everything in writing. The housing office looped him to negotiate. No cash tonight. No emergencies created by waiting. You're making this complicated, he said. I'm making it possible, I said. Authority entered the room the next day, quietly. Not police. Not a dramatic knock. Just a caseworker's email with a subject line that read next steps. Documents attached. Deadlines clarified. Options laid out that did not rely on me setting myself on fire to keep someone else warm. The calls stopped after that. The tone of the texts changed. Shorter, careful. When the landlord agreed to a plan that reduced the amount and pushed the date, it felt less like a victory than a door closing with a soft, final sound. There was relief in it, and grief, and something like dignity returning a place that had been hollowed out. No one posted about it online. There was no apology tour. My cousin's feed continued to fill with sunlight and slogans. The family thread stayed active, the way rivers do even when you're no longer standing in them. We found a small place a month later. It wasn't the old apartment. The walls were thinner. The windows stuck. The first night we slept there, the kids lined their shoes up by the door as if expecting to leave again. I didn't correct them. My dad sent a final message a few weeks after that. A thank you that didn't quite fit its own shape. An update that sounded stable. A line about how things were different now. They were. I still love my family. I just don't confuse love with availability anymore. I learned that silence is also a message, and that you can answer it without raising your voice. I learned that help, when it comes with structure, can change the balance of a room. And I learned that not everything that burns leaves you weaker. Some fires clear a space you didn't know you needed.